They've been taken in by them. Maybe that's something that people should begin to be aware of the kind of power that they hold at the moment, and I don't think that's been fully grasped yet. People are trying to see in between the margins to find out what's going on and getting snippets of information, and those snippets are going to be very, very important. But to act against them in any way, it can be quite disastrous. I've had that experience, and I think many, many other people have too. So this is maybe why we should tell exactly who they are, should denounce ourselves and be fearless about it. It's because of that fear that's at the base of all that still exists. B. Something that we spoke about earlier when we had a conversation a few days ago was there's a supreme arrogance in these people, which you have experienced at first hand, which George Green described when we first met and talked to him about a year and 3/4 ago. He said, they think they've won. They're not worried about anything anymore. They're not trying to silence all the alternative media. Not really, you know. It's not going to make any difference. What difference is a couple of voices going to make? The plan's still going to roll out. It's not going to make any difference at all, they believe, what you or I might say. Well, I go along with what George Green said. He's painted a far better picture than I could, because that's exactly what it's like. They're incredibly arrogant. Along with their other attributes that there is that arrogance there. It's quite tangible. Yes. And they're just comfortable about what they're doing, totally comfortable. They're not hiding around and sneaking about. I mean, these are quite open people, some of them, public figures. Okay. Now, is there anything that we missed? Is there anything that you wanted to say but didn't have a chance to fully enlarge on? Is there anything you want to add that I haven't even asked you about? There's still such a story to tell, I think, because I'm very aware that people need to see a decent level of credibility in what I've been describing to you, and I guess that's always a difficulty. But all I can really say is I've been aware of this timeline since the early single 70 seconds, too young to understand what it was at the time. In fact, it seemed to me quite an exciting thing that was going on, and that was the first time I ever heard of the existence of the Anglo-Saxon mission. And details of what I know, I feel if I started mentioning names in particular and what was mentioned and where I was at the time, might compromise the Official Secrets Act, which I'm still party to in so many aspects. I say the military. Where it's in a civilian environment, then no. I feel happy talking about that. I wish there was a way that I could describe other events, which you're aware of, and do so in a manner that would allow people to understand me far better than I've explained here. Then they'd see exactly where I'm coming from, where I've been, and what I've been through. I feel that then people could rationalize what's been said far better. But I do feel that what's been said so far is enough for people, if they so wish, to have a look themselves and uncover a few stones. And if anything of significance does come out of it which other people can corroborate, that would be fantastic. That would be good, because evidence, I know it's so crucial to do things like this, and there's no smoking gun as such. There's only one person reporting something that happened 5 years ago, principally, but there is a much, much larger story around that which you are aware of, and we need to be extremely careful about where we go with that. There are many people, of course, who do have access to the same information you do. This is something that is known by thousands of people in finance and the military and politics. It's widely known. It's a very small proportion of the world's population, but it's still very widely known. Absolutely. Yes. And something that we have always encouraged, and we say it again here, is that we encourage anyone who has experienced it first-hand or even at second-hand, any aspect of this, to please step forward and know that there's safety in numbers. Know that the more people who break ranks and have the courage that you have to speak out, the more will be heard, the more will be understood, and the whole thing will be like a gradually rolling snowball. The snowball is rolling. It's quite small, but it is rolling. It is. It is. There'll come a time where names will be named if there's enough public support, and we will demand answers from those people. So when enough fruit from the tree of evidence comes off, then these people can be properly challenged, and then we can see a far different story, emerge from the one that people like myself are giving you. It'll become more real, far more real. We can do that. We can take people to task. Okay. All right. This is very, very important. I want to close by saying, thank you for your courage, and thank you for your spirit. Thank you very much, too, Bill.